Welcome to our fourth week of classes for International Logistics Management. And previously, in we have discussed in the previous weeks that we about warehousing and how warehousing helps. Um, but now we are going to dive deeper into understanding of warehousing and how it really helps in logistics management, mostly in creating a very positive inventory management. Okay, so warehousing and inventory management, these are very crucial components of modern logistics. So in this lecture, we will delve into the principles, the strategies, and the best practices that will help you identify and understand efficient storage and distribution of goods. And again, we had to understand why warehousing is important. If you are on last week, we discussed about lean logistics, wherein whatever products you have, you deliver it right away. In that way, you can easily conduct an inventory. There's no storage. It's faster and more efficient delivery of products. Number two, um, you can retain the quality of the products at its best because right after production, you ship them straight to their destination. So whatever the quality of the products right after its um, production will be the same when it arrives to its destination because we do not need to store it. So that means we shorten the time between the production and the delivery of the products. Um, that's lean logistics. However, the disadvantage of lean logistics is because it will cost more money. Okay, it's only positive and it's only advantageous if you are operating logistics within short distances. That means you move products locally or you move products in short distances because in that way you are able to deliver faster, you are able to retain the quality of the product at its best condition. And you are able to conduct an actual inventory. You're able to save money from warehousing or from renting a storage area. You're able to save money from the cost of hiring more people to conduct an inventory, to classify and group products as to when they should be delivered. Um, but again, uh, if you are now going to expand your logistics business into delivering to farther places, probably out of state or out of countries, um, then lean logistics will be too costly for you. Even if you saved money from renting a warehouse, and even if you have saved money for the salary and the compensation of people working in the warehouse, but the cost of shipping it um, faster and the cost of shipping uh, these products faster, it will just be too expensive. And unless if you have a pool of clients who are willing to pay whatever costs or price that you will quote them for the delivery of their products or for the shipment of their products, then that is fine. But otherwise, your logistics business will never be able to compete with the other businesses because the other businesses they have cheaper options. And the reason why they have cheaper options is because they have warehousing and inventory systems. So the warehousing gives your logistics business a um, uh, an option to provide cheaper and more cost effective services to your customers, okay, especially for those customers who are not in a hurry to have their products delivered, especially for customers whose products have a longer lifespan and um, does not need to arrive to its destination in the sooner, okay? Especially for customers whose products are of really good quality, that are not very delicate, that are not easily to break. So those customers are not in a hurry. So those customers prefer a cheaper way of shipping and moving their products. And you can do that if you have a warehouse. Because if you have a warehouse, you can stock all the products together and classify them when you can ship them all together so that all these products can share the cost of the shipment or can share the cost of the delivery. Okay, so and but it may add up to your cost for the rental of the warehouse, but again, these products are also paying or sharing the costs of the rental of the warehouse. It may add up to the cost of additional staff or workforce to do the inventory and to do the stocking and to do the warehousing. But again, all these products together are also sharing the cost of the staffing and the extra labor cost. So that means it would still be cheaper on your end and it would still be cheaper for your customers. Okay, so we're having a where if you're doing a logistics business and you are expanding to provide services to internationally across borders, then a good warehousing and a good inventory management will be very helpful for you to be able to compete with other um, logistics businesses because you can provide cheaper options for your clients. And that's why DHL and FedEx, they have really, really large warehouses. Even Amazon have really large warehouses. Okay. Okay. So we are back. I apologize for the glitch in the video recording. I already discussed this, but then something happened, so I will have to rediscuss this. So again, the key functions of warehousing is number one, storage. That I already explained this in the previous weeks that this is the most important function of warehousing. Do you have a secure place where you can keep the products while they are waiting to be shipped? Okay, or while they are waiting to be delivered. And the reason for this is because to be able to make sure that you are delivering the products to the right person, to the right time, and to the right address, and you are delivering the right product, you are delivering the right quantity of product. The warehousing helps you double check everything. Okay. Uh, and also, the warehousing gives you an option to offer a much cheaper delivery cost or a cheaper uh, solution for the movement of products in your company. Okay, the reason for this is let's go back to the lecture last week where I talked about lean logistics. As what I've said last week, lean logistics is very effective and very good, and it's also uh, cost effective because it allows you to save money on the rental of the warehouse or buying a warehouse. It also allows you to save money from adding extra people to the payroll, or it gives you a chance to save money because you don't need to hire extra workforce or extra manpower who will do the sorting, who will do the inventory, and who will do the warehousing. Okay. However, the lean logistics only works best if you are moving products within the locality or within the city or within the state. Anything beyond that might be more costly or more expensive when it comes to operational cost for you because number one, when you are moving products by uh, land, which is either by train or by car or by truck, it's faster. It's lesser cost if it's nearer because all you will just pay is for the gasoline, the car mileage or the truck mileage and the delivery person's salary. So that's it. Now if your logistics business or if your company now deals with delivering your products outside the state, so it will be a much farther delivery time. So that means you will have to pay your truck driver more. Number two, you will have to pay more for the maintenance of the mileage because it's a longer mileage because it's farther. Number three, you will have to pay more for the gas because it's a much farther distance and then the truck has to come back to your company or to the production or yes, to back to you. So that will be more cost. Now, if you do not have a warehouse to store your products, you would most likely want them to be delivered straight away, right? So that means your truck has to deliver every day. Now, if you are already involved in delivering products out of state, just imagine if your truck has to drive 4 hours to Las Vegas and deliver your products to Las Vegas and it has to come back. Now, the following day, it has to drive again to Las Vegas and it has to come back. So that will be more cost for you. Okay. Unlikely if you will have a warehouse where you can store the products. Okay. And then you can just deliver them all together at one time in a week. Then it will save the cost. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, for example, you are producing plastic monoblock chairs. Then you have a client in Las Vegas who orders 100. Now, if you don't have a storage for this monoblock chairs because you don't have a warehouse, you want it to be delivered straight away. In that way, it is easier. The advantages of this is number one, it's easier to inventory because you're able to produce the 100 chairs. You saw that the 100 chairs are being loaded in the truck, and you saw that the 100 chairs are already being delivered. Number two, um, uh, so the second advantage of this one, apart from easy inventory, is that the quality of the chairs, since they are fresh from production, they are still of very good quality, and you deliver them straight to your client in Las Vegas. So that means you are able to to preserve the better quality of the chairs. Okay, so that means whatever quality when they are out from production is the same quality that the clients will be expecting when they receive it. Okay, because you don't need to store it. You know, the risk of the risk of one chair being broken, the risk of one chair be having a crack in the storage is minimized. Now, what if you have another client from Las Vegas who also orders 200 chairs, but that client wants the chairs to be delivered Sunday? So you make 200 monoblock chairs and deliver it by Sunday. So your truck has to go to Las Vegas again on Sunday and has to come back again. So that means your truck spent gasoline on a Friday to deliver the 100 chairs. You spent a salary for the person to deliver the 100 chairs. You spent mileage maintenance for your truck on Friday to deliver 100 chairs to Las Vegas. That same cost will be that same expense of gasoline, salary, and mileage maintenance will be on the Sunday for delivering 200 chairs. Okay, now you understand. What if you have a warehouse where you can store these chairs? So now you make 100 chairs ready to be delivered, but since you still have another order of 200 chairs to be delivered to Las Vegas, so um, so would to make it cost effective for you, you can say, you can tell the other customer, hey, can we deliver the 100 chairs on Sunday? And if they say yes, very good. And you will tell them, okay, if you will agree that your chairs will arrive on Sunday instead of Friday, this will be the cost of your delivery. You understand? So you are able to give them like a cheaper cost. And if they don't ask for a cheaper cost, if they are happy that if they are very happy that you will deliver them on a Sunday, then it will be an extra profit for you. Because for example, the client on Friday, you charge him $400 for delivery. The client on Sunday, you also charge him $400 for delivery. Now you have a warehouse. You store the 100 chairs until the 200 chairs are ready to be delivered. When the 200 chairs are ready to be delivered on Sunday, you put the 200 chairs in the truck, and the 100 chairs that you store in your warehouse, you also put them in the truck. Now your truck has 300 chairs. On a Sunday, you deliver the chairs, your driver deliver the chairs, and then your driver comes back. For example, the cost of delivery is $200. So you pay the driver his salary, you set aside a maintenance fee for the mileage, you set aside the gas that was used for delivering to Las Vegas and coming back. That's $200. Now, how much money did you profit from the delivery? You profited if one client pays $400 for delivery, the other client pays $400 for delivery. That's a total of $800. You only paid $200 for the delivery cost. So that means you're able to profit $600. Now, if you do a lean logistics wherein you deliver on a Friday, the client on Friday pays 400, you spend 200, you only have 200 left. The client on Sunday, you deliver for the client on Sunday, they pay 400, you spend 200, you only have 200 left. So your profit is 400. But if you deliver them all together, your profit is 600. Okay. So that means, um, but if you want, you can even have a profit of 500 and tell the client that the delivery fee is only 350. 350 plus 350 is 700. Your client will be happy because you gave them a cheaper option of shipping, a cheaper option of delivery. But the reason why you gave them a cheaper option is because you're able to they are sharing the cost of delivery. And the reason why they can share the cost of delivery is because you have a warehouse where you can store the products and have them delivered all together. Okay? So that's the good thing of warehousing. There's a storage. Number two, there's order fulfillment. There's like a really, really good system of inventory management if you have a warehouse. Now, if you have been to Amazon, or if you have worked for Amazon, I think you can apply for Amazon as a sorter. Amazons are looking for part-time workers as sorters in their warehouse. You only work for 4 hours, okay? But the hours are early in the morning. So, for example, I am a sorter in Amazon. My shift starts at 6 o'clock to 10 a.m. So by the time I get to work at 6 o'clock, my inventory supervisor will then give me a zip code, an area code, a postcode. So he will tell me, Allain, you will be dealing with 91331. Okay, that's the postcode for Panorama in California, Panorama City. So what I will do is that I will just look at all the boxes that arrived before 6 a.m. Anything that arrived before 6 a.m., I will look at it. I will not look at the address. I will not look at what's inside the box. I will not look at what's product, where the box is from. What I will look at is the zip code where it is going to. As soon as I see the zip code 91331, I'm going to bring it, stock it in my area 91331, 91331. Okay. From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 hours of working, I was able to stock 40 boxes that needs to be delivered to the zip code 91331. Okay. By 9 o'clock, the inventory supervisor will check how many boxes are there ready to be delivered. Okay. To the postcode 91331. The inventory supervisor will then check his or her app. And if he or she finds in the app how many people are willing to do the delivery in the area. Okay, these are the part-time delivery people of Amazon. So you can also work as a part-time delivery person of Amazon. So and then she will find out, the supervisor will find out what kind of car do you have. So when you say you only have a bike, So the inventory supervisor will then choose. So let's just say, for example, there are four people available and willing to deliver in the 91331 postcode. So the inventory supervisor will then check what kind of cars do you have or what kind of transportations do you have. Now let's say, for example, there's a guy named Roy. Roy is riding a bike to deliver. So what's going to happen? The inventory supervisor will choose the smallest packages, the smallest boxes. He will choose 10 of the smallest boxes, label it Roy, 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 Roy. Okay? Because there are 40, right? There are 40 that I sorted into the 91331 zip code. So these 40 boxes will be divided to the four people that that the inventory supervisor can see on his app that they are willing to deliver in the area. And then they can see the inventory supervisor can see a girl named Christine. Now Christine drives a sedan, like a normal car. So the inventory supervisor will find 10 packages that he believes can fit in a sedan. Now there's a guy named Gabriel. Now Gabriel is driving a big truck. So the bigger packages will now go to Gabriel. So by 10 o'clock, when these people arrive, they already know which packages they will be getting because it has their names on it. And then they will now deliver it to the specific addresses on the box. So they are the ones reading the specific address so that they can deliver it to the correct address at that time. Okay. Now the distances are not that far because again they are on the same zip code. So that's how we make it sure in the warehouse that everything is delivered to the right place. If there are any issues about the wrong product and the wrong quantity, like for example, you ordered a shampoo, you ordered three shampoos, and then suddenly 1 dozen, 12 shampoos arrived. That's not the problem of the warehousing. That's the problem of the people in the store where you ordered it. Okay. Or let's just say, for example, you ordered something and another product arrived. Again, that's not the problem of the warehousing. That's the problem of the store where you ordered it. Okay. And then we have cross docking. Now, some warehouses facilitate quick transfer of goods between transport vehicles. Okay, now cross docking, as what I've said, like uh, there is a warehouse where you can stock your products and then you label them. When are they, uh, if they're going to the same destination? Let's just say, for example, California. So all these orders from California are being stored here, and then you the train that goes to California, they will take everything that goes to California. But it's not that easy, okay? Because California is a very big place. Again, they are still being sorted by city. So Los Angeles here, Long Beach here, San Francisco here, they're already being sorted by the main, okay, by the main um, Amazon warehouse. Let's just say, I'm just using Amazon as an example. Okay, or let's just say FedEx. So FedEx has a main warehouse probably in Texas. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure, but what I've heard is that all international shipments via FedEx will go to Texas. By the time they go to Texas, they will be sorted per state. And then as soon as they are sorted per state, somebody is also there sorting them per city. And then as they are being sorted per city, they are now being loaded to the trains. Okay. Now these trains will travel from Texas, then it will go to California, either by trains or trucks. Okay. That's why you still see big trucks. Uh, because it depends. If there's a railway that will travel from Texas to California, that's good. It can be delivered by train, so we call it a rail transport. If not, then there's a road transport wherein trucks are carrying your products. So when these are in the trucks, they will not go straight. to your address. Okay, they will go to the warehouse in California. Okay, they will go to the warehouse in California, and then there will be, this is now the cross docking. Okay, so they will now go to the warehouse in California, and from the warehouse in California, they will be sorted to the cities, and then they will be delivered to the warehouses in the cities. Okay, they will now be delivered to the warehouses in Los Angeles. They will now be delivered to the warehouse in San Francisco. They will now be delivered to the warehouse in San Diego. They will now be delivered to the warehouse in Sacramento. At the warehouse, that is when we are now sorting them by zip codes. So, so warehousing are is it also helps in cross docking. So FedEx, DHL, these are the largest logistics companies, so that's why they have warehouses everywhere for cross docking. Okay, and of course, like value added services, warehouse often offer additional services like customization and kitting. Okay, so that's these are the functions of warehouses. Next, oops. Hello. So now let's proceed to the types of warehouses. There are, of course, there's a production warehouse where you store your raw materials and finished good near manufacturing facilities. So that means this is a warehouse where you put your raw materials before they are being made into a product, and once the product is made, before they can be delivered, then they will be stored again. Then there is the distribution centers. So this is what I explained earlier with Amazon, that I mean with FedEx, that they have one in Texas, so it all arrives in Texas. The custom brokers are there in Texas checking the products that arrived from overseas. Once they pass and get certified by the custom brokers, they are now being delivered per state. And then when we get to the state, there's also distribution center warehouses that will deliver to the cities, and by the time the products get to the cities, that's also what we call distribution center warehouses, wherein they will be sorted per zip code and then will be picked up by the delivery personnel to deliver to your doors. Okay. And then there's also a cold storage warehouse. This is a specialized facility, temperature sensitive product warehouse. So when I say sensitive product warehouse, these are the products that have a shorter lifespan, or products that can easily that are delicate, that they can easily go off, or they can easily spoil. So mostly food and beverages require a cold storage warehouse. Okay. Now, the warehouse layout and design, I will just run through this, because if you have a warehouse, you can easily design and lay out your warehouse to your liking, whatever you want. Um, but a common warehouse will always have a receiving area, okay, wherein the goods are unloaded and checked for quality and quantity. So now, if they pass the quantity, if they pass the quality checking, they will now be brought to the main area, which is the storage area, where they are now stored, okay, into racks or into whatever storage techniques or storage methods you have. You can choose, as long as you keep the material safe and preserve its quality. Then the third area is now the picking and packing area, where orders are assembled and prepared for shipment. So this is what I said. Like this is where the store sorters come in. Well, they will sort the products by zip code and then have it ready for the delivery people to pick up and deliver. And then the shipping area, these are where outgoing orders are loaded onto trucks for delivery. So that's how it basically works. Now, inventory management fundamentals. So the definition is inventory management involves overseeing the flow of goods from manufacturers to warehouses and from these facilities to point of sale. So that's what inventory is. We make sure that whatever is ordered, whatever the quantity ordered, we know it. And then when we store it, it's the same quantity, it's the same order. We know where its destination, and we know when it's going to be shipped, until such time that they will now be going to its actual destination. So the objectives of inventory management is to minimize the holding cost. Okay, so that means we do not want to store products or to store goods for a long time without knowing when should it be shipped. So that is why we know when was it delivered, when was it made, when was it produced, so that we can classify and group it together with the other products that will have to be delivered. Otherwise, we will the quality of the product will sacrifice, and that will cost. That's one of the holding cost. Customer complaints for the delay of delivery. That's one of the holding cost. Um, or spoilage, another holding cost. Okay. Ensure product availability. That's very good because we want the products to be available when they're being ordered. Optimize order quantities and reduce obsolescence. Obsolescence. That means reduce spoilage. Now, inventory classification. So, number one, we have A items. These are the high value, fast moving items. So, we also, if you are in the production, again, remember there's a warehouse that we call a manufacturing warehouse, wherein the raw materials are stored there before they are being made into a product. And once the product is finished, you store them again. So, high value, fast moving items, these are items that has a high demand or they sell very fast. So sometimes because there is a high demand, you cannot just synchronize the demand and the supply. Okay, sometimes you need to oversupply so that when the demand is there, there are already stocks ready to supply and give to the demand. Okay, because these are high value and fast moving items, so we need to oversupply them. And if you oversupply or if you overproduce, if you over manufacture a product, of course you need a storage area or a warehouse where you can safely store them and easily move them or deliver them when there is a demand from the customers. Okay, then there's also a moderate value, moderate moving items. So these are 30% of inventory or 50% of value. And lastly, this is the C items or the low value or the slow moving items. This one, the C value, we don't over manufacture them, we don't overproduce them. We sometimes we produce them as being ordered. Okay. Now, inventory costing methods. FIFO, I think you already know this. First in, first out. Why? Because again, we want to deliver the product when the product is at its best quality. Okay, so when you stock in, for example, let's go back to the example that you make monoblock chairs, and let's just say, for example, monoblock chairs is a product. That means it's a high demand product, so you over manufacture them. Now, if you do not have a proper inventory costing method, you can have a monoblock chair that you produced in April and it was stocked in the storage area. It was saved in the storage area. And because you overproduce, you keep on stocking monoblock chairs in your storage, and then you don't have this inventory costing method, um, then your customers have orders. They have orders of 500 chairs, orders of 600 chairs, and whatever chair is produced, you just ship them out without even checking which one was produced in April, which ones were produced in March, which ones were produced in January. Most likely, by the time that these chairs that were made in January, if they get to the customers, they will not be of a very good quality anymore because they have been sitting there for a long time. Okay, so you have to make sure that whatever comes in to the storage area, like for example, if you have chairs made in January and they're still in the storage area, they should be the first one to be delivered if there is an order or a demand of these chairs. Okay, it's just the same thing in your fridge. Okay, if you bought apples last week and you bought apples this week, you don't eat the apples this week. You should eat the apples last week, because if you eat the apples this week, by the time that you want to eat the apples that you bought last week, those apples are already of bad quality. Okay, first in, first out. Next, there's also last in, first out. So assume that the newest inventory items are sold first. Okay, So the last in, first out. So that means the newest product that were made have to go out first. Um, that is also possible again for products that have a longer lifespan. And then there is also a weighted average method, which uses the average cost of the items in the inventory. So that means those products that are expensive, that are uh, like they are slow moving because they are expensive, you need to find a way to deliver them first, okay, or sell them first. Now, key performance indicators of warehousing is inventory accuracy. That's 98%. Okay, you need to maintain these numbers. Okay, there's no such thing as 100% accuracy. I mean, if your warehouse gets 100% accuracy, there's no mistake in delivery, there's no delay in delivery. Amazing. You have a but even DHLs and LBCs and UPS and FedEx, they have even problems with accuracy. So, but 98 accuracy is what's more expected. Okay. Inventory turnover. So these are the average number of times inventory is sold or used in a period of time. 15 is good. The cost of holding should only be 2.5%. Okay. If there is always an issue in the cost of holding because, again, we cannot uh, assure 100% accuracy. But let's try to minimize the cost of holding or the customer complaint cost. Uh, at 2.5%. And that is what Amazon is trying to do. Okay. That is why in Amazon, if they delivered the wrong product, instead of getting the product back and giving you the correct product, they will just ask you to keep the wrong product because the cost of getting it back and shipping it back to the client or back to the seller, back to the store, and then getting the new product and delivering it to you, if you add the cost of the two delivery, it will be more expensive than just getting the new product and deliver it to you. Okay. So warehouse management systems, the WMS, you should have inventory tracking. Okay, as you can see, all of our logistics companies have this, that you can even track real time online where your products are now, when it is expected to be delivered, and when it has been received by your clients. Order processing, so you have an automated order fulfillment and shipment tracking, of course. Labor management, optimizing workforce schedule and task assignment. Of course, you need to maximize your workforce, because if one sorter is absent, it will delay the sorting, and if it delays the sorting, then the delivery people will have to wait until things are sorted out. Then if they will have to wait, then the delivery time will also be delayed. Okay, so you cannot just you need to have a backup personnel for in your warehousing, because the sorters, the checkers, they have to be there, and they should be able to perform so that we can minimize the holding cost of delayed deliveries or late deliveries, not being able to deliver as the time being promised, or the spoilage of food products when they are not delivered on time because there's a delay, because your manpower is lacking, you don't have enough manpower in the warehouse. Those issues, we need to recover them. So labor management is also very important in warehousing, and reporting analysis. So you need to report what's the cost of holding, like are we getting, is it increasing, is it going beyond 2.5? The mistakes of warehousing, are we still staying at 98% accuracy, or are we down to 90%? And these reporting will help you improve your systems in the warehouse. So emerging technologies in the warehouse, yes, there's now robotics, uh, but I'm not sure. Robotics again will have to. They might be an issue for unemployment reasons, because robots can sort stock, uh, packages and products faster and more accurately than humans. Uh, and they can work overtime. They can work 24/7. So those are the things. of course, this one, the tablet we're in, there's an app to check the products and the delivery items, and it's already existing. I'm not sure about the drone, but yes, who knows? So yes, so that is thank you for listening to our warehousing. We're talking about now automation. Automation is already there. Sustainability, we're working on that one. Integration. We are now having like a one system tracking, worldwide tracking for our commodities as they are being shipped and as they are moving between borders. It's now working. Flexibility, adaptable spaces to meet changing market demands. Yes, we have that one. So as we've explored, effective warehousing and inventory management are crucial for modern logistics, of course, because effective warehousing and inventory management will not just give us accurate and timely delivery of products, which allows movement of products between borders. And if this happens, then that means the economy of the countries will continue to work. Okay, again, our economies are already interlinked. We are already very dependent on each other countries for the sales of our local products, since we are not just pushing for local sales, we are now pushing for international sales of our local products. And because of that, our economy is growing fast. And to be able for the economy to grow, we need to work together and continue the economic linkage through logistics, international logistics. Okay, thank you very much.